Surprise, ladies and gentlemen. It's my birthday, but I'm going to give you all a gift back. So, obviously, a lot of people were anticipating the Adam Bowler interview this week. Unfortunately, it was out of my hands. And it was out of Adam's hands as well. It didn't happen. But we are not going to disappoint. We have a little tease here. I've been working relentlessly behind the scenes with Adam, back and forth. Nobody knows about this. When this drops, there's nobody else other than me and Adam know that this is coming. So this is my birthday surprise back to the people. So what we've agreed to do, I've picked 5 questions that I got sent at random, and I've sent them to Adam, and he's recorded video responses to each question that I've asked. Now, wait, when I counted them, I believe there was like 250 odd questions. There was more than that by the end. Like 5 does not even touch the sides. So what I've tried to do is get a good little mix of the 5, give you a little tease, get you in, you know what I mean? And give you a little, just give you something, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people were looking forward to this. And I appreciate Adam for working with us on this. Obviously, the travel, that was my issue, but he's been nothing but a professional. And he spent the time today to record the responses for us to 5 questions that I've selected. So I'm looking forward to this. Let's get into it. Before we get into the questions, I'd like you all to drop a like if you can. Give us a hype. Leave a comment. And obviously, this is just a little tease. So next year, we're going to do the face-to-face sit-down interview as soon as possible. But me and Adam, we both wanted to give something to the people who are, because this was one of the most highly anticipated things on the internet in Britpress. And we don't want to disappoint. So I've kept this quiet. I've been working hard on my birthday for you people. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, hype, and get ready for the tease, the little taster before we get into the main course in 2026. So over to you, Adam.
Hi guys, hello Lou and hello wrestling fans. So we wanted to do this interview in person, but due to circumstances, we wanted to give you guys something at least for the interview. We didn't want to let you down, so me and Lou decided to do it this way, or some of the questions this way. So knowing that I thought I was going to meet Lou, I did look back on everything, all the upsets, all the arguing with people, and you know what? It's on both sides. Some people attack me and bully me quite clean, to make it look like they're the victim when they're not. Sometimes they are when I've bit back, when I've argued and stuff like that. I'm in the wrong. And that night I was just crying all night. I didn't really sleep. I was really in tears. Like, you know what? I wish half of it didn't even happen. Some of it was all childish stuff, and I regret it. And I want to make a fresh start in the wrestling. I want promoters, wrestlers, fans to back me in my promotion. So I thought, you know what? I want out in the open. I want to say it how it is and the truth.
I'd also just want to say, I feel like I shouldn't have to do this, but like I'm going to anyway, just for the record. I've never met Adam Bowler yet. Obviously, we've had interactions on the phone, we've had phone calls, messages, voice notes and stuff, and we've got a good professional working relationship. I don't really know anything about his story, about his life, which is another reason why I want to do this interview, so I get to know him, because obviously, well, you can tell by the amount of questions that have been sent to him. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of stories to tell. Do you know what I mean? So I just want to say the thoughts and views in the following questions are none of my own and have been sent in by anonymous sources. I said anonymous sources there like I was working for the FBI. It's like anonymous people. Like I don't even know who they are. Like it's not a secret source. Okay, Adam. Best and worst wrestlers that you've worked with.
So, who's my favourite and worst wrestlers to work with? You are really giving me a hard one here. Pretty much digging my own grave with this one, to be honest. But do you know what? I want everything out there. I want everything truthful out there, so I'm going to say it. So I think the best wrestler I've worked with, I would say Matty Mayhem. I think we have got that little chemistry at times. Um, we have our disagreements, but I love working with him. You know, he's one of the best wrestlers, and I would say Drill as well. Um, when we were around, the worst wrestlers I've worked with. This is going to be quite, no one's going to stand up for me. I know they're not because they're too scared to back me. But I'm going to say there's two, Michael Caden and Danny Doherty. Based on a show we did, actually a couple of shows, me and Danny Doherty, we had an argument about theme music. And at the end of the show, I said, why did you slag me off? It wasn't supposed to be, you weren't supposed to do that and all that. And he got quite verbally aggressive towards my mum. So I pushed him. And I regret I shouldn't have pushed him. That was quite unprofessional of me to do. And he left, obviously, and he put up a big post saying, me and my dad beat him up. There's no marks on him, it were complete lies. All I did was push him. But then, because I was going to go looking for him and apologise, but I couldn't find him. And I've got to say, Danny Doherty again and Michael Caden. I can't remember what show it was. I think it was 2019. I had a number of wrestlers come to me, and Tina, who was my right hand at the time, came to both of us saying Michael and Danny won some sort of drugs and they were offering them backstage. Me and Tina had a word with Michael Caden, and he was all over the place, and we took him off the card. And he said he would give me my money back, and he didn't. And when I got some advice about that, I was told just tell him keep it and don't work with him again. Danny, unfortunately, Danny Doherty, unfortunately, I didn't get to in time, but he was in the ring and he was dragged out by Tina, pretty much. Tina had to pretty much drag him out the ring. And it's all on camera as well, obviously, on DVD. But, I mean, that's what I was told by the wrestlers backstage. And, and they were scared to come forwards, publicly because they would be blacklisted for telling me and telling Tina and that they were on something. But, yeah, I've got to say, I'm going to be honest, guys, so I'm not going to lie about it.
You haven't changed one bit since the 2012 interview. Literally the same person, same excuses, same verbal diarrhea, same victim mentality. Why is that?
So I haven't changed since 2012, since the last interview I did. I'm a diarrhea victim complex or something. So I think that's quite disrespectful, to be fair, saying diarrhea, someone's diarrhea. I'm not acting fake victim. You know I'm a victim. I've got the evidence. I can back it up anytime I like. But don't get me wrong. I've said things, I've done things which I'm not pleased about. But at times I have changed. I have had certain help. And you know what? You're going to use the excuse or you use the excuses for his mental health. I'm not. It is down to my mental health. And I need to, control it. And I have been to certain places where people have forced me. I've done Andy Man's Club. I've done something called Heroes Journey, I think it is, twice. I did something called Journey, which was a mental health thing. And they removed me from that because they say because somebody's story could trigger me. I don't think that's true because if you think about it, that kind of story could be on TV. So that could trigger me. So, but I believe 100% now, because we knew, me and my support worker, we knew something dodgy was there, something not right. And I fully believe when I posted up that I was doing this journey course, a wrestler did comment saying, this is not the right course for you. And I believe, I might be wrong, but I'm just saying it how I feel, my opinion, that I feel they contacted the course and said it's not the right course for Adam. So they removed me from it. But I want to change, I do actually want to change. But it's finding the right help, you know? That's all it is.
How do you think you are viewed by the general public, wrestling fans, casual fans, and the boys?
How do I think people feel about me, like wrestlers, wrestling fans, etc., and the general public? With all the issues, what I am dealing with, obviously with the bullying, the upsets, my depression, my mental health, I feel like I am a joke with everybody. Just because so many people can wind me up so easy and, this and that. I feel like I'm a joke for defending myself. And I have always said since high school that I would always defend myself. Maybe I have defended myself the wrong way. Maybe I've read a lot of comments, posts the wrong way at times, and I've just gone the wrong way about it, and I do regret it a lot.
Adam, who's your favourite member of the Deathmatch Outlaws?
Who is my favourite deathmatch outlaw? Unfortunately, I don't have any favourites. I don't really follow it. Um, it doesn't really interest me, to be honest. I know people are going to think I should, but I'm just not interested in it, so I don't really have a favourite.
If Bulk wouldn't have physically stopped Charlie Davis from driving to Leeds, you'd be sleeping with the fishes. What do you say to Bulk for doing that?
The Charlie Davis question. What would I have done if Bulk didn't hold him back from coming to Leeds because I would have been sleeping with fishes? Well, that's just, I forgot the alleged. Nobody knows the full truth. Nobody knows if that's true. Um, anybody could say anything like that, Um, a lot of it, like I say, a lot of people believe stuff without evidence. Um, but do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to tell it how it is right now with the Charlie Davis story. I don't want to hold back anymore on it. But so me and Charlie, I would have said before me and Charlie argued, I was getting a lot of the bullying with the ex stuff. These people have started a hate campaign against me. And I was very, very upset. I was angry. And I mean, I was angry. Um, when I get angry, I do black out a bit with stuff. And I think if I remember right, Charlie said something. Obviously, I've disagreed. We've got to the point where we've argued. Charlie said something to me about his son. I think it was like his son could beat me up or knock me down or something like that. Something on them lines. Um, I I would guess I've said something back, but I'm not gonna say I did. I mean, what's the right word I'm looking for? I'm not gonna say I didn't say what I said or I did say it. I'm not gonna say that because I really don't know. I was in that angry, wound up mood. But whatever I've said, I know obviously I've said something to piss Charlie off, no doubt. Um, but I will say, I do apologise. Whatever I've said, I do apologise. Um, I felt like obviously the post what I made, saying that I did say it, I was pushed into that post by people. Um, I was pushed into it, and people are quite hypocrites because they say like, "Oh, don't force people, don't push people into this and that," but it seems to be one-sided. Like everybody else is okay not to be forced and pushed into stuff, but it's okay to do it to me. Um, but like I say, I have said something, I don't know what, but I do apologise. You know, I want to make amends with people and build bridges and stuff like that. Okay, you're not going to like me still, but I still want to build a bridge and stuff like that. But if this is true, I will say if this is true, Bulk's holding back, I'll say thank you. I mean, I'm I'm not going to hide behind the bush about it. I mean, one of the pitbulls have lied about me to Ricky Knight. I'm going to say how it is because I do have the proof of that. I need to have a look back at it, but I do have it because. Um, hold on a minute, guys. So one of the pitbulls lied to Ricky Knight, basically saying that I sent him abuse in a conversation. Um, Ricky said to me, "Why you been giving abuse to one of the pitbulls?" I can't remember which one it was. Um, and I said, "No, I haven't. I'll send you the proof." So I screenshotted it and I sent it to Ricky, and he wasn't bothered. He wasn't interested. He would rather believe what he was told rather than the evidence. Um, which, yeah, don't get me wrong, I do swear, I do give out abuse, but on that exact time, I didn't.
And that was the little tease there for the Adam Bowler interview next year, coming in full and in person. Obviously, in person, I can ask him questions about, like, in between his answers and stuff and start bouncing things off him. Already, like, I've got there's questions I want to ask off the back of what he said, but that's part of being an interviewer. So, don't get at him in the comments and don't get at me in the comments saying, yeah, but what about this? What about that? This is just a taste. This is just a tease of what he's got to say. Leave it for the face-to-face interview and I'll ask the questions and I'll pick apart what he's got to say in a professional way. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Happy birthday to me, Beer and Bud Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year and welcome back. Chat Chick Get Baked, episode 20. Kicking off the new year with a very special episode, a nice little surprise for you all. I know you are anticipating the full Adam Bowler interview, but we're gonna keep you on the end of the reel. We're gonna keep giving you a little tease, a little taster. We've got another 5 or 6 questions here. Thank you, Adam, for giving us your time to record some more responses for the fans because everyone's anticipating it. And we will get the full interview done very soon, hopefully this month. But in the meantime, it's over to Adam. Thank you very much, people. Enjoy the video. Like, share, and subscribe to me and Adam Bowler's channel. Thank you very much.
Hello, Lou. Hello, guys. Watching this. Thank you for having me back to answer a few questions. It should be easier done in person, but we're going to do it this way for now. So, the first question I got asked anonymously, but I know who has asked this person, and I'm going to mention a bit. Tell us about your younger days. What was it like growing up in Leeds? Were you surrounded by family and friends? Well, I know exactly who asked that question, and this person was going to do an interview with me and pay me for the interview, but I refused to talk about my family and my friends, and that person decided not to pay me and not do the interview. I just wish this person would actually respect people's boundaries, where, and you know what, a lot of people say I won't take no for an answer, but I do a lot of the time as well. But I have said I refuse to talk about my family and friends, so please stop and respect people's boundaries. The next question, which is, I heard there was a charity boxing match mentioned between you and Lee Patrick. When will it happen, or are you scared of him? Well, I'm not going to comment on Lee Patrick at any point because he's somebody who mocks people's mental health. I do have evidence of it, which I'm not posting up. He has been harassing me a number of times. I did go to the police and they told him to stop. And they've actually told me, obviously, not to talk about it and not interact with Lee. He has gone through other people to get to me as well, and now he's trying to get to me by going through this. He's not welcome to any classic UK pro wrestling events. And I know what he's going to say. Who cares about coming to some crappy little wrestling show? Simple. He's begged me a few times to try and be my friend, and then he's slagged me off. I'm not going to answer that question, and I'm definitely not scared of him. Simple as. The police, like I say, the police have told me not to mention and talk about him, so I'm not gonna, and I'm not gonna answer that question. What kind of difficulties and challenges are there in wrestling promotion? For me, I can only answer myself. I can't answer the people's. So the difficulties and challenges for me, as we all know, it's going to be social media, and interacting with people all the time. I do take things the wrong way, um, which is my difficulty, and obviously it causes a lot of rifts between myself and fans and wrestlers. Difficulties as well, and the challenges getting people in the venues to the shows. I mean, my first ever show, I didn't do too badly, and I was starting to build that fan base. And then obviously, like the venues have had issues. So like the roof collapsed, and then obviously they couldn't afford to fix the roof, and that sort of sold the venue, which turned into flats. And then another venue which I had, same thing. The roof did fall in a bit, but they managed to fix it, and the electrics were not safe at that time. Nobody had bothered to look at electric for years and years and years, so they had to rewire it or whatever, do their thing. So I do go out, I do flyer. I mean, I do pre-show videos, show what I do. So I go out and flyer, I do poster. My hardest thing is obviously on social media. I'm just hoping people give it a chance, basically. Next question is, if you won the Euro rollover lottery, what is the most expensive thing you would buy yourself? For me personally, I'm not going to go into too much about it because I don't want to, but I would buy my house, my home. This is my family home. A lot of people slag me off. Oh, why do you move out? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Family means a lot to me, so this is where I was brought up all my life, my home. This is my home, this is where I don't want to leave. This is where I started, and this is where I want to finish in life, to be honest. I know it sounds sad and loser and all that, but this is where I want to finish in my life, my home. So I would, if I won the Euro rollover, I would buy this house, pay off all the bills and all that kind of stuff to make it nice and easy. Next question. When's the next Classic UK Pro Wrestling show, and why should anyone buy a ticket? Next show is the 11th of April in Leeds. Why should anyone buy a ticket? Because I have got a lot of good upcoming talent on the show, which is obviously going to be some really good matches. I'm rebranding the whole thing, so I'm gonna get new belts, talent, top matches. I'm gonna try and listen to the fans more on what they want, and bring other people in to help me build classic UK Pro Wrestling and make it better for the fans and the wrestlers, make it more safer, hopefully. It is safe as it is, but I think I could look into things more. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people judge who hate me. They go on, oh, it's rubbish, and your card's rubbish, blah, 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 blah. And all people do is listen to what gets posted and not judge by themselves. So I suggest anybody out there, if you've not been to a classic UK Pro Wrestling show, please do come down and judge for yourself, Stop listening to the internet and come down yourself. And the 11th of April show is raising money for mental health as well, to help people get more help. because I feel like it's an important thing, and I get mocked quite a bit for my mental health. So I want to help people in my situation. Can you right? Right. Can I add more to my claim that there needs to be a proper speaking out movement? Who or what changes are missing? Well, on this one, I believe everybody's judge and jury on social media and not done the right way. I believe, yes, it started correctly, where certain people obviously got called out for certain things, and then a lot of people have even said this, that people have jumped on the bandwagon. So even just, I don't want to sound bad. I'm trying to explain the best way I can. So just some of the, I would have said, minor personal situations that have been dragged into the speaking out movement when it was not needed. Like if someone's broken up with a partner and it's gone bad, or my boyfriend's done this, or my girlfriend's done this, or said this and that, just petty, minor stuff which is nothing to do with the speaking out movement. And just like if you hate somebody, you've said this, you've said that about somebody. And I'll openly admit, yes, I did get called out myself. Excuse me. The one, a couple of people called me a nonce for it, which is not true. I'm not a nonce at all. I've never even been spoken to by the police, ever, about it. But I asked someone when they were 18, which is a fair question, to be honest. And I've explained it so many times, and I'm not going to explain it again. I want to move on with my life, I didn't do anything wrong. Like I say, the police haven't looked into it or even spoken to me about it. So I wish they bloody would. But and then there was somebody else who badmouthed me. But they, after that, when my mum passed away, they spoke to me about this. I was sat an hour and a half, I remember it perfectly, an hour and a half on my phone, sat outside the LGI hospital. I was outside on the floor, crying. Obviously, I was missing my mum, grieving for my mum. But I was talking to this person who accused me, and she actually said she apologised because she was going through a bad time with her partner at the time, and she shouldn't have said what she did about me. So this is how things jump on the bandwagon. But I saw this post, which I 100% agree with. I can't remember who posted it, but I 100% agree. And I'm going to read that post out. And I think I've said this actually once or twice. So if you run to the internet and not the police, you are part of the problem. Continuing, to go after someone on the internet after the police have done their job, you are also part of the problem. Well, as I've just stated, I wasn't looked into by the police. I wasn't spoken to by the police. It was just judge and jury by social media. Take evidence to the police and not Facebook, which I 100% agree with. So I suggest if you've got an issue with me, or if you've got this issue with the question, when you're 18, whatever, go to the police. Stop crying to Facebook. Ruining people's lives, lying about them, risking people's family and lives. Call me a nonce when I'm not. So, yeah. Thank you, Lou, and for giving me this opportunity to answer some more questions. We hope we'll get a full interview at some point, but I don't know when at the minute. So thank you very much, guys. See you all guys soon.
Thank you very much for joining with Adam, and thank you for your time answering some more questions. I'm looking forward to doing the face-to-face live interview. Again, just before the video ends, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't seen the previous episode of the other 5 questions, I'll link that in one of the boxes here, or here. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to our channels. All the best for the new year. Let's go, baby! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. A little bit of a surprise today. Was talking to the man himself, Adam Bowler, earlier on, and he offered to do 4 more questions. I feel like I got a decent mix. 4 questions, 4 different topics, while he was out and about on his travels, filming stuff for his YouTube channel, to answer some questions for us. Just before the video starts, next week, next Wednesday, I am filming with 20 plus year veteran Dragon Izu. Get your questions sent in to me for that. We've already had a good number of questions, so don't forget about that one. Do me a massive favour if you can. Like, subscribe to the channel. It helps me loads. And I'll drop you a little surprise here. Me and Bowler might have a face-to-face meeting coming up very, very soon. More on that to come. Enjoy the episode.
Hi guys, hello again. Sorry about the outing. I just rather do the video while it's fresh in my memory and what I want to do. I'm going to give you a little bit extra as well in this video. So let me just answer these 4 questions. So the first question is about threatening Chris Travis. Well, this is a long story. We got on eventually before he passed, sadly. Even though the trolls have been lying about it. That's what they are, they're liars. But anyway, I can't remember much of it, to be fair. I really can't, because it was a long time ago. All I can recall is we had a bit of an argument on social media. I've said something about his girlfriend, I can't remember. I know that much, I've said something about her. I'll openly admit. I had him on a show. I think it was my third show. And let me just tell you something though, right? On that third show, he was only one of maybe 3 who was actually professional that night and did a professional job. The rest of them just messed about. And I've got footage of all of it. No one really come to that show. I don't know why, to be fair. I don't know if it was lack of promoting, whatnot. But anyway, after the show, previously a belt got stolen, and the belt meant a lot to me because it was my dad who made it. So I got wind of Chris Travis stealing it. So that's why I threatened him, because somebody told me that Chris Travis stole it. So that's why I threatened him. I wish I didn't, but he got a bit funny with me. I threatened him, and yeah, we didn't talk for a while. And then when he kind of recovered from the first lot of cancer, I did have him booked on the show. And unfortunately, when the second time he came back, he messaged me saying he couldn't do the show. He did actually a promo for the show as well. And he messaged me like, I'm sorry, I can't do the show due to, obviously, the situation. Which, a lot of the time I do argue with people in the back out shows. But because of the situation with his cancer and that, I understood. So, yeah, we did get on eventually, and it's sad that he's gone. And, yeah. So, where do I want to go? What's my goals for the wrestling? And have I wrestled at any other promotions? Well, I did obviously do a show with WWE. It was my show at WWE Performance Center, and I did wrestle there. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the only one. Oh yeah, apart from the top rope one, what they did at I would have said my show, but I'm not going to go into that because it's really upset me what's going on at the minute, which I will go into at some point. My dream opponent on the scene now, oh God, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, just top of my head, I think I would just want the rematch with Dylan Slade from the Norwich area. Yeah, I think that's the dream right now. Is I want Dylan Slade in the ring. He cheated and won my mum's belt, the Linden Memorial belt, and he cheated to win it. So I would love a rematch. I see myself more as like a real kind of kind of a real wrestler, if that makes sense. So whatever the result is, do you know, like a boxer? So the record kind of thing. So whatever wins, how many losses. So I don't know, 5 wins, 6 losses. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to just. I'm not saying I'm a proper wrestler. I want to see it like that, if that makes sense. My goal, I just want to take part. I just want to have basic good matches. I'm not someone who's saying, "Look at me, I want to go to WWE, AEW without any real good training." I wouldn't want to do that anyway. I just wanted to stick local and do my own thing. Somebody's asked me about a photo shoot I did a few years ago with someone called Bryony and Fiona. What was the point of that? What was it actually for? Well, we know certain creeps on Twitter make out that it's for my, what was it? Um, I forgot, wank folder, which I don't have. It isn't to do with a wank folder at all. Um, Again, as I said to another question about YouTube, it's more that I enjoy doing photos. I enjoy learning, so I wanted to do my own stuff. I love the Comic Cons, as people know, so I wanted to take part in doing a photo shoot. I wanted to take part. I did. I learned quite a bit. I did a bit of editing in the background, um, and yeah, it's a professional thing. It wasn't anything to do with a wank bank or anything like that. I don't even see the photos. Sorry about that, guys. I've had to actually just like move location a little bit because a woman, knowingly, that I was filming myself, she's decided just to stand next to me and talk on her phone. Um, right, going back to the photo shoot, I wanted to just do it as a professional thing, and it was a professional thing. Some of these photo shoots, what I either do myself or take part in, I rarely look at. Once I've edited up, um, I rarely look at them, to be honest. I just use them like in a portfolio to show what work I've done and what I enjoy. And I shouldn't be pushed, bullied on anything out of it. So, what is the point of my YouTube, of doing YouTube? Um, and do I want to be famous? Right, the point of my YouTube is I love filming and editing. I've loved to do that for many, many years. And I'm going to go back to the high school again. Back in high school, we were doing media studies, and I got taken out of that because of bullying there. Um, and like I say, it was always me who got blamed when I didn't do anything wrong. But yeah, I got took out of that lesson, and I've always wanted to do filming, editing. So I go around filming whatever I love to do. I'll film anything. I don't just film a little protest. I don't do just a drink review. I film anything. So I just enjoy it. And like, do I want to be famous? I don't want to be famous. I just want to be known as a good person. You know, um, and not this big bad joke that I am. No thanks to a lot of the trolls winding me up. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I have reacted. Maybe I shouldn't have done, but I've reacted to the point where they've made me a joke, and I want to be liked. I just want to be liked. I want some friends. I just want to be somebody, and not big and famous. So I just want to. I said I add a little bit to this. That I want to just add a bit about the wrestling. So yes, it does give me a lot of hassle, a lot of stress, a lot of upset. But I wanna be positive in it. Um, I started this in 2012, and my first show, as many of you know, I cancelled. So this is actually just to cover my face mask kind of thing to warm. But I cancelled my first show. And I'm going to mention Chris Travis because he did help me out a little bit. Maybe he gave me some bad advice. Um, Sorry guys about that. Like, I just can't kneel. But he gave me some advice. Some people are not going to agree. Some people are going to call me a liar about it, but it's true. So when I cancelled, I was with him at the time, And he said to me, I remember this clear. We were sat down and he goes, "Pay me, cancel the show, pay me, and don't pay anybody else. And the will work for you again, just don't pay him this time round." And like, I didn't really want to. I thought I wanted to pay him. I thought that was the best bet is pay everybody. And I did. And I got a lot of stick for it, which I understood. And then I got comments like, I deserve to die. I don't deserve to be in wrestling. I don't deserve to be a fan. And, you know, I've said this many times. When I left high school, I swore I would never let myself get bullied again. And when people started crappy comments like that, I bit back and I defended myself. I threw out threats. Maybe I shouldn't have done. Maybe I've gone about it the wrong way in defending myself. And I do apologise for that. But that's the only way I know how to defend myself. Because ignoring bullying isn't an option. But all I want to say now to the audience is that I enjoy wrestling. I enjoy it. I enjoy promoting it. I enjoy going out there doing the flying, posters if I've got any, booking the talent and all that. But I feel like it's coming to an end a little bit because now somebody's took over my wrestling, my venue, what I had. They basically admitted we are taking that venue, we are going to use that venue from now on, and another venue in Leeds. Which, when I used to do bookings, when I used to look for a venue, I went to some venues where I didn't know they were doing shows, and I mentioned it to a couple of people. I think I posted at times, and then I got threats like, "Talent, no, I'm not going to let talent work for you as your my venue, and I'm going to have you and all that kind of shit." So why should somebody take my venue? Um, I've been misled as well at times, but I'm not going to go into that. Don't want to go into the all politics. I'm sick of arguing. I just want to do what I enjoy, and that's wrestle. Do some wrestling, put on wrestling shows for people, and have them enjoy it. You know. Um, I don't know what else to say because I am really, really upset about what's happened, and I just want to get on with my life and stop the bullying as well. All the bullying on Twitter by predators, and they are proper predators. Needs to stop. But of what I'm heard, the people who started the Speaking Out movement, it's disbanded. So now people can actually throw out all the predators, let the predators back in, the paedophiles, abusers, whatever. You can come back in because it's safe, I guess. Because no one's stopping it. I've tried, but I enjoy wrestling. I want it safe, and I want to be here for it. That's all I'm going to say, guys. I think so. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lou. And I do apologise for anything what I've done. I just want to be a positive person and just, see it around, guys.